Hey, hi everyone. With respect to our Swiggy application, in this particular video, we are going to understand how we can set up our development environment. Since in this application we have different component, we are going to focus on each and every component in separate video. In this particular video, we are only going to focus how we are setting up our backend. So we have our backend which we developed using Fast API. And we have another component called front end, which we have using React.js. And then we'll see how we can connect this to dot. So before going in depth, like what are the different components we have inside this backend, and then also uh, yeah, same for the React.js. So before going in depth, let's try to set up our local environment. So for any project, okay, if we are starting any project, there are few steps which we follow. Okay, since see, we have our code, the backend code available in our Git repo. Okay, so very first, what you have to do, we have to clone this repo. I will share the repo. The repo description is available in the repo details are available in the description of this video. So first you have to clone that repo. I will show you like how you can do it. So after cloning the repo, you have to create your own branch. And then on top of that, how to create, you can create your branch like this: git checkout minus b, and then you can see the you can write your features branch name basically. So I'm giving branch name something called feature Swiggy model. And then we'll try to understand what are the different components we have in that particular folder. So let's try to clone it. So let's try to complete this two step first, and then we'll do the remaining. So you can follow along with me. So it will be easy for us to understand where we are. So this is a repo. Okay. So just give me a minute. So let's try to understand. Let's try to set up this one. So first go to this repo. This is a repo. So this same repo URL available in the description of this video. So first go here, and the next step will be like go to the command prompt and create any folder wherever you want to keep this project. So I have created one folder called live demo. And here what I will do, I will open my Visual Studio. So to edit the code or to write the code, I'm using Visual Studio. So to open the Visual Studio from the command prompt, we can write like code and dot. It will directly open your Visual Studio within a couple of seconds. You can see that my Visual Studio is opening. Okay, I will just maximize it. And here what I will do, I will go into the terminal. So let me trust it. Let me close this part. Let's go here. Sorry, go here, go to terminal section, click on new terminal. Okay. And then go to this section, click on git bash. Why we are using git bash? Because maybe like if you're using Mac iOS or any operating system, so that like whatever command I will write, that is going to work in your system also. The very first, let's do git clone, and we'll paste our URL. So what will happen? We'll get our project over here. It will take a couple of seconds, and then you will get the project. Okay. So let it be downloaded. Yeah. So now you have everything over here. So what is the next step? You have to create your own branch. Now you can do that part. So currently, if you do git status, you can see that. Okay. I'm not sure why it is not. Just a minute. Let's try to see why this is not. Give me a minute. This should be automatically get that, which is the current. Okay. For that one, we have to go inside the folder. Just a minute. CD, and then go Swiggy demand modeling, and then do git status. So you can see that you are on the main branch. So that is you don't want actually. So basically how we develop things, like for an example, if you talk about, so we have our main branch. Okay, so we cannot do development in our main branch. Okay, because I don't want to. So you have your main branch. So on top of this main branch, so first you are cloning Okay, so you have the code repo locally. Okay, now you can see that you are on the main branch. So whatever changes you will do in this particular folder, that will directly affect your main branch. Let's say, so basically there are a few steps. So first you will write the code, you will update the code, and then you will commit the code. So basically you are trying to commit your code directly in the main branch. And this is not a good practice. That's why what step we are following, first we are cloning it, and then next step what we are doing, we are creating our own branch. Okay, and how to create our own branch, let's see that part. So what we can do, come to this place and write git checkout, and I want to create new branch, and then you can give the feature, uh, let's say something called live demo. Okay, this is a feature. Okay, now you can see that you switch to the new branch. If I will do git status, so we are on the new branch. So let's clear all the console, and then what we can do, let's try to understand folder structure. Okay, so it's very straightforward. So there are many things, okay, which we will try to understand it. Okay, so give me a minute, and then what we will do, we'll try to explore this folder one by one. Okay, so very first, let's try to understand what we have. We have like you can see that we have one section called notebook. So if you go into the notebook section, so we have all the like, let's say, since we have a data, okay, from the Swiggy, and from this data we are going to develop our solution. Okay, so let me talk about it. What it means. So basically, what is our task? Our task is to build one demand forecast model. That's not only one problem statement. Also, like we need to understand how demand of the particular product will go up and down. So we have different folder structure over here. So notebook is all about doing basic analysis, modeling. Okay, so all the machine learning modeling or deep learning model, whatever you want to try. So basically, this notebook will get used by data scientist. And apart from the other, like if you talk about other stuffs, that will get used by the machine learning engineer. So we have, let's say, I'm playing the role of two people here. One data scientist who will develop machine learning algorithm, and then I will also play the role of machine learning engineer who will help you to productionize your application or productionize your machine learning solution. So if you go inside this notebook, so you can create or you can create your entire notebook. Like you can go and you can create your own notebook, and then you can do a lot of analysis. Like for an example, if I will go any of the notebook, you can see that I have already written all the codes. I will go each of the notebook. I will explain this thing, but first try to understand the folder structure first. Okay, so notebook, it's clear for us. And now, like, if I will come to the Swiggy demand modeling, okay, so here you can see that we have something called data set. Okay, so this data set will, if you come down, okay, so for an example, since we are developing one prototype, and we are assuming that we don't have data Swiggy, of Swiggy basically, and it's very understandable because no one will provide data to us. Okay, so in this section, Swiggy demand modeling, we have all the basic configuration file, which will help us to generate the synthetic data. So this section, in this particular section, what we have, so you can see that uh, we are doing, like, we have basic library we are importing over here. Okay, few of the library, like I will explain in the later part, but this dataset.py will help you to generate the synthetic data, and which, like, once this code will get generate the data will come into the data section. Okay, that should be here. Okay, that folder structure will create. Okay, so that is not available, that folder structure is not available, but ideally this will go to the one of the folder structure which we are defining in the configuration file. Okay, okay, so something like this. So we are going to create the data folder, and inside the data folder it will go inside the processed or depend, like maybe like we have different data from the what I say, from the different location also. So that will go into the, like if you have some external data, that will go to the external folder. We'll talk about that one. So with respect to the modeling or doing everything in automated fashion, we'll keep everything over here in the Swiggy demand modeling section. So this will get developed by the any machine learning engineer. Okay, and now if I'll talk about document. So with respect to of the this project, so if we have a lot of document, so that we'll keep every documents over here. So like for an example, if you go to the document section and if you click in get started, so basically whatever step I'm explaining, okay, so you can read over here like what you need before starting of this particular project. So and like for an example, if we are extending this project and we are implementing a lot of functionality in this project, so if you have anything to add on it, you can create your own document and you can keep everything in one particular section. So this is about the doc and notebook. And a reference is like something, if you are referring some external document, if you want to keep, you can keep things over here. And let's say if you're developing your model, if you want to store all the output from your model, like whatever visualization you are doing, whatever uh, result you are getting, so you can keep everything into in this particular section, in the report section. Okay, and now uh so okay, now this is a backend. Basically this is a backend, like this is a fast API code which will help you to, like ultimately we are developing our backend. Okay, so that it should create one endpoint so that our front end can consume our model. So in this backend folder we are going to keep all the backend code. Okay, so that's very straightforward. And now we have something called .github folder. Inside the .github folder we have workflows, and then inside that we have python package dot yaml. Okay, so we will develop this file for our CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so CI/CD pipeline is nothing else, like I can give you one simple example. What is this basically? So for an example, let's say this is your main branch. Okay, and from this main branch you created your own branch that is called feature. You created your own branch called feature live demo. Okay, and now on this particular features, let's say you did some uh, you did you made some changes. Okay, like let's say you added one notebook. After adding this notebook, what you will do, you are going to, so let's say you added your notebook, you done with your analysis and everything, then what you are trying to push this code into the git. Once you will push the code, so basically you are pushing your code inside your own features basically. Okay, so after pushing your code, what you will do, you will try to merge this code into main branch. So when you are merging your code in the main branch, okay, so there is a lot of things which we have to do. Like we have to test your code is working or not. Maybe like you are following all the basic principle of coding or not. So there could be a lot of things which will check it. Okay, so like there are two way to do it. One is like there will be one person manually who will validate your code one by one. Or other approach, like in the automated fashion, what we can do, we can write lot of test cases. Okay, if someone is merging the code in the main branch, so that test cases will automatically get triggered. Okay, so that is one steps in the CI part. So that is basically continuous integration. Okay, so if you're adding if you're merging your code in the main branch, so basically you're doing continuous integration. The continuous integration, like if there are 10 developers, they are working separately, so they can follow the same approach, and they are continuously merging the code in the main branch. And if some cases is not passing, definitely you cannot merge your branch actually. So this will make development faster. So there is something called CD. So continuous development is one thing. Now, whatever the code you have, the main branch, let's say you are going to push this code to the production basically. Okay. So production basically, like your application will get live. Okay. So that end user can use your application. So basically this will also be happen in the automatic way, that's called continuous deployment. Okay, so that's why like whatever the step we will follow in the CI or CD part, we are going to write into this particular YAML file. That's all about it. Apart from that, we have few other files also, like one is called git ignore. So git ignore is all about, like, for an example, I have some file which I don't want to push to the git repo. Okay, if that is a case, then what I can do, I can mention that file into git ignore one actually. Okay, so and then this is very simple, and then we have some configuration file, some documentation file, like readme file is just it will just tell about like what it will tell about like what about project, what is the description of project, okay, how you can install basic stuff and all the stuff, all the basic things. And then requirement txt, like here we have all the essential library which you need to run this application. Okay, so hope this part is very much clear. So again, if I will go back to our step, so now we are very much clear with this two part. One is like we clone the repository, we create our own branch, we understand the folder structure. Now next step, like before going and before running the application, we have to create our virtual environment. So hope we already know that what is a virtual environment and why it is important. So let's create the virtual environment. Okay, so for that one, let me clear everything. So what we can do over here, so go here, just give me a minute. And now you can do like, why this is, okay, I have to go here and now do git, not git. Okay, you already, uh, let's do one thing. Let's create our Python. I'm creating my virtual environment, VNV, and then you can give your virtual environment name. So I'm giving, let's say, live demo. So this will be the virtual environment. So I will hit enter and then it will create. You can see that it is creating virtual environment. And now you can see that this is getting tracked by Git that I don't want basically. So basically I don't want to push my virtual environment to the Git. Okay. So what I can do, I can come to the Git ignore file and I can say like I can go and I can say that I don't want to track git demo file. Okay, I will save it and you can see that it's not tracking now. So it will take couple of seconds to create the virtual environment. And then what is the next step? So once you create the virtual environment, the next step will be you have to activate your virtual environment before installing all the library and then you will run your backend. Okay, so let's go to the or code editor. Will take couple of seconds. You can wait. Okay, now it's everything is like a virtual environment has been created. Next step will be like how we are going to activate it. Source and then give the virtual environment folder name, live demo, and then inside that we have one folder called script, and then inside that we have one bad file called activate, sorry, and then you can see that your virtual environment has been activated. The next step will be install all the libraries. If install txt. Okay. Now it will go to the requirement txt file. Okay, and it will install all the mentioned library. It will take couple of seconds, and you will get your everything. You will get all the packages in your environment. Okay. So okay, so we'll see. We'll wait for a couple of seconds. So once you will get your virtual environment, you activated your environment, you installed all the libraries. The next step is like how we are going to run our backend. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to go into the backend, and inside that we have our backend code into the dashboard.py file, and we are going to run it. So in this particular video, we are just trying to set up our development environment. In next video, we are going into depth. Okay, like how we're developing this thing. Okay, uh, how we are creating the model and everything. We'll talk about uh, everything in terms of code also. So here, like hope we are ready. Like we installed everything. So let's wait. So everything is installed. What we can do now, we will go to the folder called backend, and inside the backend, we'll try to up our fast API endpoint, UV con, and then give the folder name that is called dashboard. And then inside the dashboard, we have initialize our fast API app with the name variable called app. And then we'll try the app. And we want to make sure that if we make any changes inside this UI file, then it should automatically detect without reloading the. Okay, so it will take a couple of seconds. You can open it. Wait for a second, just starting. Okay, some no module backend. Okay, so we need to change something called, because you are inside the utils. So let's make that change. Let's wait for a second. Yeah, we don't have this file also. So basically how to get this particular file. So to get this particular file before running the backend, let's do one thing. Let's first you have to run this particular file, go into the Swiggy, and you have data set. You can run this file, okay? And again, I'm not using my environment, so maybe like this will not work. So what we can do, go here. And so first activate your environment before generating the data for your backend, okay? So what you will do, let's go inside Swiggy demand modeling, and then what we will do, like we will we will activate our virtual environment live demo, and then scripts, and then we'll activate. And the next step will be like go to the Swiggy. I have to come inside this folder, or maybe like you can do something like this: Python Swiggy demand modeling, and then mention the file name which you want to execute. Okay, I made one mistake. I have to make it Python, and it will execute your code, and it will new module. Okay, I have to make some changes in the code because I am importing something called like this. Okay. Oh, sorry, not here. And the dataset.py file. Okay, just a minute. Let's change it. And we don't want this one also. And now let's clear everything. And now let's try to execute it. Okay, now you can see that your you will get the data in few minutes. Okay, generating the data. So very first, I forget to mention, but yeah, now I'm saying that very first you have to install, you have to run this dataset.py file to get the data. Okay, so that you can start your journey. Okay, so this is your dataset.csv file. Okay, and then I think it should go inside the data folder. I don't know like why it's not creating. Yeah, we'll solve that problem later on. So let's do one thing. Let's create one folder called data for now. Okay, manually. Sorry, not here. Inside that, let's delete this part. Okay, we'll delete later. Inside this, create one folder called data, and then inside this, let's create one more folder called where is your data. And just a minute. Let's delete this part first. Yes. And now inside this one, let's create one folder called, not this one, data. And inside the data, let's create one folder called sources. And inside that one, we are going to keep our CSV file. Okay, this should be folder, not file. And then what we'll do, we are going to keep this data inside this process. Okay, so this is data we have. Okay, now we have the data. Go to the data set folder and see all the, yeah, we have the correct naming convention or not. Yes, let's rename it in case it's not correct. Yeah, it's correct now. And now go back to your fast API code. Sorry, fast API. Okay, and here let's say, let's clear everything. And now what we'll do, we'll go back to the backend. Okay, and then we'll try to execute our application. UVcon. Dashboard, that is your Python file name. And then inside that you have app, and then reload. Will take a couple of seconds. And hope this time it will work. If not, then we'll again fix it. Yeah. So no folder called data. So this should be small. Let's make it small. Yeah. Okay. So let's quickly do one saving. Sorry, and then it will automatically detect the changes. And based on that, it will try to again run the same script of dashboard.py file. So it will take a couple of seconds. Still, it's not. Okay, the file name is dataset.csv file, not. Okay, we can change the file name, but let's go here, put the data, and let's do the renaming. And now let's do the same thing again. Let's save it so that it can detect the changes, and then it will try to run the same script again. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Just trying to detect the changes. Okay, it's okay. That's okay. And now if you go to the browser and hit this URL and then /doc so that you will get your Swagger UI. Okay. And here we have two different endpoints. One is called dashboard. So in the dashboard, like it will do the basic it will try to get you basic stats of your data. So if you try to execute it, so maybe it is not working due to some reason. We'll see it why it's not working. Okay. We'll solve this problem in upcoming videos. But yes, this your application is working. So if you go here in the forecast, so you can try to understand, like you can add the product, like for an example, if you try to milk on some location, let's say some, and then if you click on execute, so currently it will not work because that is not working. Okay, so for an example, if you go to this application which I showed in the last videos, so if you go in any of the videos, so currently like my endpoint is not working. So again, maybe, yeah, I'm getting the output because one of my endpoint is working. So if I'll go into dashboard, so dashboard is not working because of some reason, because some data issues. Okay, but demand analysis is working. Okay, because in this front end, I'm connecting with my backend. Okay, we'll talk about that part, but in this particular video, we are well interested to understand how we can set up our backend. So hope now things are very much clear to us, like what we're developing. So if I'll again walk through, so in this particular videos, we understand how we can set up our backend. Okay, So I will share the Git repo in the like if you see the description of this particular video, you'll get the Git repo. So you will start by cloning, then create your own branch, understand the folder structure, create your virtual environment, and then go to the next. So you have to understand like how you can activate, and after activation, install everything, go to the backend folder. And I missed one step, you can correct here, like you have to run the dataset.py Python file so that you can get the data. Okay, after getting the data, what you'll do, like you'll run your backend, and once you'll run the backend, you'll get you can go to the your browser. Okay, you'll get this thing. Okay, so that means what your endpoint is working. And now how this dashboard endpoint is working, or how this forecasting is working, we'll see, okay, in upcoming videos. But for this video, I think this is more than enough. So hope things are very much clear to us, and in next video we'll try to go in depth in terms of coding.